Hey guys, it's Ricky here. I'm making this little video because I'm going to be returning to Ratchet & Clank 1 New Game Plus speedrunning for the next month or so, and I just thought I'd make this little video just so you guys won't be confused as to like what happened to the category and stuff, because a lot has happened since I had the record back in 2021. So let's just go ahead and jump into it, starting with Veldin. So something that was found since I last ran is called a dust hover, which is a really difficult technique that I'm going to be using on only 2 planets so far, but optimally you could do it on 4. So I'm going to be doing it on Veldin, which is going to cause a lot of resets, but the idea is that once you've done a single jump or double jump, you can pause, and after you unpause, if you press R1 or R2 on frame 4 after the unpause, and then keep fluttering, you can basically float straight forward. With a little dust cloud behind you. Now you can actually turn with these dust hovers if you angle the stick ever so slightly left or right, which is insanely precise. So all you have to do for Veldin 1 is activate the dust hover and then do a tiny turn to the right, but this is way harder than it actually looks. Novalis is basically the same, except you can save about 3 seconds instead of riding the elevator back to the ship by doing a camera proxy up against this plant with the Agents of Doom, and then the Agents of Doom will kill the final enemy. And as I'm falling out of bounds, I'm gonna die and then end up at the ship. On Kerwan, you can save 5 seconds with a dust hover at the very beginning by floating over to Al Shek. This is probably the easiest one in the run to go for, since if you miss it, you lose like 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds. But if you get it, you save the full 5. On Eudora, you can save about 0.5 second by camera flipping through this door instead of using a decoy glove, like I normally would. Same thing on Blarg, which is really nice because the clip on the way through this door was really annoying, and the camera flip is very easy. The pod warp has also seen a small makeover, as it's been discovered that you can use the PDA instead of an in-level movie to save a few seconds. The opening section of Battalia is exactly the same, but once you grab the infobot for planet Orxon, you actually head forward towards the fortress that's right in front of you, and then you do a movement chain into a long jump SI off the mountain, and then you death warp, which spawns you right next to your ship. Now, the reason you don't do the other chain on Battalia is because we are going to be doing Pokeskip. Pokeskip has been faster in Ratchet 1 for a while now, and it's pretty wild that it's just, you know, it's a thing. Like, we're just doing it now. So in order to do Pokeskip, the main technique is more camera proxies. This is done by forcing the camera below Clank, and then turning the camera into the level, which forces the camera up below Clank, which gains him a massive jump. On areas where I need extra height, I'm going to open an in-level movie right as Clank leaves the ground, which just launches me all the way up to the top, which I need for a couple of sections. In my opinion, the hardest part of the skip is right at the end, where you need just the perfect amount of height to grab the pipe at the right angle. If you grab the pipe at the wrong angle, Clank will just let go, which sucks. And then once you're actually on the pipe, you just have a really, really chokeable jump right at the end, where if you miss it, you fall all the way back down and you have to redo the whole section. But yeah, no more Orxon 1, no more Gaspar, no more Poketaru, and no more Orxon 2. But you just do Orxon in one visit and you skip all of those planets, which is just a crazy big time save. Ultanis is also a smidge different with this camera flip that you can do through this wall. If you do it well enough, you can go right into the cutscene instead of having to do another PDA backflip. Drexfleet and Veldin 2 both have dust hovers that I'm not going to be going for. If you look at Atapi's world record run, you can see him do a dust hover across this big gap, and then you can PDA side flip up below the ship, which is just insanely hard to do. I don't even know why he decided to go for this on pace, but it is faster. I know the Veldin 2 one saves like 8 or 9 seconds, and I want to say the Drexfleet one saves like 6. But in my runs, I'm going to be doing the regular chain as normal, and then at the end, I'm going to lose a little bit of time because I don't have the thruster pack, because I didn't go to Poke ever. So I'm going to have to do some PDA side flips, and I have to clip with the helipack on Fleet. For Veldin 2, you can also see in Atapi's world record run that he does a dust hover, which is extremely hard. The initial angle you have to leave at is really precise, and then you have to ride up a mountain and get enough height, and once you've gained enough height, you got to turn to the right and dust hover all the way over to the boss trigger, over to the final boss arena. And yeah, not only is it just super hard execution-wise, you need really good finger dexterity to be able to just continuously press R1 and R2 just for like over 30 seconds. What I'm going to be doing instead is a strat called Brazil. Yes, it's called Brazil. It involves getting Ghost Ratchet in the mud, then PDA side flipping out of the mud, then ILJing over to a different platform, going around the entire level to gather speed, and just doing some crazy movement
just continuously building speed, and then launching your way all the way over to the drag platform in one smooth motion, which is super, super hard. I want to say I have it down to about a 1 in 5 right now. Hopefully I get better at it, but I'm not super good at it right now. But it saves, I think it saves 12 seconds, if not more, over what I did in my 1850. But a top piece dust hover saves an additional 8. And personally, I just don't have any consistency with dust hovers at all. So I'm willing to do the ones early in the run on Kerr 1 and Velden 1, but I don't want to do the 2 at the end. The record is still very much improvable. A 15-minute time is possible, but we'll see if I even, you know, go for that or where I end up going with my grind. So wish me luck, and thanks for watching.